my first scripts were all basically like dark comedies or like twee kind of blazer wearing comedies of like relationships and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to LA, it was just like Will Ferrell sports comedies. So I was like, I'm going to switch gears here, and like wrote some bad movie called Daytona 86 about like a quarterback whose cheerleader girlfriend like goes down to spring break and he's got to like swoop in before his rival quarterback. Like, anyway, like, I just was like, this is what people are buying, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
But wasn't meeting people, because as a writer, you're just like,
just writing.
You're alone. So my homies were like, go do improv, dude. Like, you should get up or do stand up. And I was like, I don't know about stand up, but I'll do improv. Met Adam DeVine and was like, can I write a show for you to star in right off the bat? Like, after 2 classes together, we were just like, let's do this. And then he was like, well, I got buddies that down in Orange Coast Community College where he went. Blake and Kyle. Kyle's a filmmaker. He's editing. Blake's really funny. We should start.
And what year is this? Because there's a year where editing becomes there, where if you could edit, it's almost like knowing how to sew and going out into the the gold rush times, and you're like, oh, I can repair tents. Yeah, that's a valuable fucking lesson.
Kyle knew how to do all that on like Final Cut. I think he knew both Avid and Final Cut, because he was here at the LA Film School, where he later would be teaching. But so we were filming stuff and then like emailing it to friends, because YouTube had not dropped yet, right? This is pre-YouTube. This is 2004 or 5.
Yeah.
And we're doing live sketch.
So you're shooting stuff on DV tape.
Exactly.
But like this is important because, this is the shit that for me is the Malcolm Gladwell-esque of it.
Right.
Is that at the time, I remember shooting shorts at the same time with my buddies on DV. We were using a Canon GL1 and shooting cool shorts that we thought were funny and giving them to management, giving them to agents, and them saying, so what now?
Right.
Like, what do you want me to do with this?
Right.
And you're sitting there going, I've got product. Like, it wasn't the
proof
point,
of concept.
It wasn't the point me coming out here to make shit.
Yeah.
Was that, because literally in this business, people were moving out here to just take walks at Runyon and hope to get discovered.
Yeah.
And so you guys take it upon yourself to make this, email it to friends.
Mm-hmm. That's all we were doing. Emailing to friends, and then doing live sketch shows. And that was kind of just like begging your local friends to come again. Like, hey man, free beer, please just like show up. Cause it was really just us getting reps, and like cutting our teeth and like performing and finding out our dynamic also, which I think was very important. As people later found out on Workaholics. But after 5 years of doing that, YouTube then coming out and us trying to go like viral and like get on that front comedy page, which was never happened. Somebody had seen these like office sketches that we had done and was like, hey, from Comedy Central, and emailed us and was like, do you guys want to come in and pitch? Like, we'd just love to meet you guys and see what you're all about. And then they were like, can you turn the office stuff into a show? And we wrote the pilot, and
that's crazy. I assumed it was one of those things where it's like you guys just made the pilot. It's interesting like you want to applaud that exec at Comedy Central for having the insight to be like, you guys.
Shout out Walt Newman, who wasn't even an executive. I think he might have even just been an assistant at the time, who brought us into his boss, who then that boss brought us into his boss, kind of thing.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think he might have been.
That's
so like, long story short, that's how I got into performing more. I had done it, but was like not gonna do it, and then was like, well, this is fun and pays better. Not that we were making any money, but I was like, okay, no one's flagging me, being like, hey, maybe like you're not in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until later in my career.
Because Blake. Because Adam is a Tasmanian devil. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Blake is undeniable because he's got this, he looks the character that you want him to be.
Yeah.
And then you rolled in and like I said, I think everyone was like, he's good looking. He just feels like you had a real, like, not to go back to Bottle Rocket, but like an Owen Wilson-ness about you of just kind of cruising through scenes, making you laugh.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because when you play the straight guy, mostly like you got to find ways to be funny, but not step on the toes of Adam, who's like gonna go big, gonna be hard. And the contrast of you not also being big usually is what can prop him up more.
Were you aware of that?
Yeah, just from watching like Spies Like Us or like movies growing up where you see like, the tall guy and the short guy kind of combos, or like that movie Neighbors with Dan Aykroyd and
of course
John Belushi, where they switched and you're like, this is still funny, but I don't know if it works as well.